Hey everybody, wanted to do a video of the installation of this Aquatik shower system for Heatercraft. Couldn't find a lot of good information on there, including this installation manual about how to install these, at least for my particular boat, my particular motor. So I'm going to go ahead and show you this video of what I did. Seemed to work out pretty well. Shower's running great. So first, boat, 2019 Axis A22. With a Monsoon 409 motor. You can see I got my fake lake hooked up under there. Been testing it out, the shower, and it's working great. So climb in here and I'll show you what I did. So first, got the control unit mounted in this little panel right here. There's plenty of room behind the panel on the starboard side. Easy work of mounting. I'll open this up so you can see what's going on in the back. So you've got three water lines, your cold water line right here, your hot water line, and then the center that goes out to the shower. This is the electrical lines right here. So first the electrical, everything comes off the side of the panel into the engine compartment over here. The electrical calls for you to run an inline 10 amp fuse. I didn't want to splice into the existing wiring harness for the boat, so I just went and bought one of these from an auto parts store. It's a nice little unit, it's waterproof, should work great. Ran the electrical over and then drops down on the other side over there, just on the other side of the motor. If I can show you really quick, there's terminal connections for both a positive and down there in the bottom you can see the negative terminal. So I just connected it up directly to that. The pump is mounted right here in this little side panel for the engine compartment. Now they give you 4 screws to just screw directly into, I don't know, whatever you want, I guess. But I actually went to the hardware store and bought 4 of these machine screws, through drilled this panel, and then used a couple of bolts on the other, or nuts on the other side to mount it more securely. It's nice, it's tucked in, it's out of the way, good solid mount. Shouldn't have any issues with it. Moving on to the water lines, you have to cut into or splice into the motor a couple of spots to get a cold water line and a hot water line. So I climb down here on the side of the motor, you can see. So here's the water intake. I also happened to put in a sea strainer while I was in here, and I just made my life a little bit easier and put that brass elbow in there to make the hose routing a little smoother. So you've got, this is the impeller housing right here, your impeller pulley. So I spliced into this line right here. They send you this T. The fittings that came with the kit, a lot of them are plastic. And it just seemed like I was going to break those fittings trying to get this hose over them. So I bought some brass fittings, again from Home Depot, just to make my life a little easier. Another trick I would totally recommend. For this hose, I used a heat gun to warm up the end of the hose first before I put it on to these little fittings. Made my life a lot easier. Would totally recommend using a heat gun. Don't get it too hot, but make your life a little bit easier with that. Moving over to the hot water line. If you can kind of see down here underneath the exhaust and the ignition coil, this line right here actually goes up and into the block of the motor, and it's actually a winterization or drain line. You can see the blue plug right there. So I actually just spliced into that because it's coming directly off of the block. And again, I just bought this brass T and some fittings from Home Depot. Again, just seemed like an easier way to do it than using the plastic fittings involved. Otherwise, I would have had to actually try and get up underneath the motor right here and take this fitting out, screw a brass fitting in and run my water line directly, and then I wouldn't have the drain line. So this just seemed like a lot simpler, easier solution for my motor. So you've got your cold water line that runs up and into the back of the control valve. And then back here you've got your hot water line that again runs up in the back of the control valve. And then from the control valve you've got a water line that goes and runs into the bottom of the pump right here. Your flow direction for the pump is, in this case I have it oriented up, so it flows the right way. And then this water line runs again back behind this panel. There's a little quick release right here. I mounted the little holder for the pump on the side of the compartment here, and then out to the shower. So yeah, so far it's been great. Excited to get out on the lake, and hope this video helps you guys out. Have a good one. Bye.